Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 26th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this fleeting fire path that says something in your life will be brief, not meant to stay in your life forever. You have this temple of the soul. It says you are on a karmic path, so you can unravel the mysteries of your karmic debts. So let's see. I have no clue what that's talking about, if I'm being honest with you. So there you go, Leo. Sometimes I just don't know, and I just say it. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Temperance card. The Knight of Pentacles is like slow progress or hesitating. I'm not the biggest fan of the Knight of Pentacles because it's like he is seeing something that he wants, but he isn't planting the seeds in the field behind him to make it happen. So he's the only knight in the tarot that represents no movement. He's the only one that isn't moving. I would say that I guess the good news is you have the Knight of Wands here. You also have the Ace of Wands now, so there is movement showing up in the reading, and, whenever I get, like, no movement to movement, it kind of says to me that you're kind of saying to yourself, you know what, I got to make a move. So I kind of feel that's where this reading is going. It also makes sense. The retrograde comes to an end this week, and, it kind of makes sense that you could be making your move at this time, or you could be just making moves in general. I also kind of feel like there is something about this Knight of Pentacles that's saying that there is a lot of potential in what you are about to plant your seeds in. Again, the kind of like the story of him is that he has everything he needs, but he just has to plant seeds in this field and they will grow. But he's kind of like looking at it as an empty field. He's not looking at it as an opportunity, right? And so I feel it's time to get moving. I'm wondering, those first two cards that kind of talk about your karmic path, that would tell me that you are, seeing an opportunity that's in front of you. Those swords are in your own heart, and you have to remove those swords from your heart so that you can, forgive the past and grow and move past it. So those, the whole point of the Three of Swords is that it can say you've been heartbroken by something that hasn't worked out in the past, and now it's time to forgive the situation so you can move forward. The Three of Swords isn't about like forgiving a person directly, and sometimes we need to forgive something that we can't even forgive, like if you had a business failure, or if you got fired from your job. It's like maybe you need to forgive yourself, or maybe you just need to kind of like forgive the situation itself. And I feel like the Three of Swords is talking about really looking at the situation and going through it and healing it so that you can move forward. And I kind of feel that's what that Karmic Path card is talking about as well. Excuse me. You have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is patience. Kind of the funny thing that is popping into my head with the Temperance card is that I feel like you've spent enough time in the emotion, right? He has like 1 foot in the water and he has 1 foot on the land right here. But what's popping into my head for you intuitively is that you have spent enough time, like emotionally, in a situation, whether you feel like it or not. And I feel it's time for you to like move towards something else that you actually want. He has this path back here, and that is the path to glory. So it's like the path to everything he wants in his life. But he could easily just get out of the water and start walking on that path. There's no reason for him to like wallow in misery, right? And I kind of get that feeling from the first row here. Like, I'm not saying you're wallowing in your misery, but you could be spending a little bit too much time like worrying, or you could be spending too much time being concerned about the future or what's happening in your life. And the Temperance card says like, yeah, that's great, but it's time to get going. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Sun. It's like everything you're thinking about is great. So the Knight of the Sun is the best card in the tarot. The Sun shines a light on something that we need to pay attention to in the reading. So it's like whatever you're thinking about, that's also, the Sun is you. So you're coming up in a very strong position, in the first position in the reading. And so I feel like the Sun is kind of like saying it's, you already know what you want out of life. You already know what is going to bring you love, joy, and happiness, but it's time to like start planting those seeds. With the Three of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is kind of like confusion. It can represent being spoiled for choice. But the Seven of Cups is your imagination. And so the whole, I personally think the solution to the Seven of Cups is to just find out. Usually the Seven of Cups comes up when we're thinking about something that we want to manifest in our life, like a goal, wish, dream, or something. And the Seven of Cups says you can dream all day long about all the good and all the bad that could come out of a situation, but like until you actually put it into practice, until you manifest whatever this is in your life, you're not going to know. It's only a dream, right? So I think it's time for you to kind of like bring something down to earth. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles says, plant those seeds. Literally my card of planting seeds. And you have these Knight of Pentacles as well. So I think that your answer is to take those first steps towards something you desire. And I'm speaking very generally here because I think that it literally could be anything. We go down to the world, and this says that it's just something that you want to manifest in your world. And, so that could literally be anything. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Freedom card, which is great, and you have this Revisit card as well. And so we are at the end of the retrograde. Depending on if you're watching this later in the week, where we've passed the retrograde, but we're still in the shadow. And so what I would say here is that it could be a good time, it really could be a good time to revisit a heartbreak. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not recommending that you just wallow in it and soak it up and live in the heartbreak. But what I am suggesting is that maybe you need to revisit the heartbreak in the sense that you need to heal from it, or you need to feel it. Maybe you didn't feel it. Sometimes I tell people, yell, cry, scream, throw up, do whatever you got to do to move past something, right? It's sometimes I think people try to just bury it down deep and they don't let it out. Drive around in your car and scream, do whatever you have to do to get those emotions out. And I feel like that's what this Revisit card is kind of saying. I feel like it will set you free from whatever it is that you're dealing with that Three of Swords. You have the Ten of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. The Ten of Cups is true happiness. They are standing in the real world, but they are choosing to focus on something that brings them happiness. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. It is a good love reading if you want love. I mean, you have the Ten of Cups and the Lovers, so there could be a strong connection coming in for those of you that want it. If you're already in a connection, this would also be really good as well. So you could be having a family with a person, or you could be connecting with a person on a deeper level, especially if you're with someone. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is kind of like a choice. And Two of Pentacles is about spinning plates and trying to do too much. I think the challenge for Leo, and I'm cheating a little bit because of the astrology, but, just looking at Leo, and I live with a Leo, my brother, and I have a million Leos in my life. I think that the challenge for Leo right now is the challenge between doing what they think is right and also doing what they actually want to do, right? It's you might think that having a career or something like that is right, but your heart might be telling you to start that worm farm in your backyard and to farm worms instead of having a career. So it's right in what I actually want to do, and what you actually want to do will probably end up making you more money anyway. Again, the only reason I think Leo doesn't think the worm farm can work, or whatever the worm farm is for you, is because you're how can I possibly support myself doing that, right? And the trick is that I believe Leo is coming back to their heart, and it's when you do what your heart is telling you to do, then you will find a way to be successful. So the Two of Pentacles is all about following your heart no matter what. Again, there might be something in your life, and I've said this to you before, where it doesn't necessarily make logical sense, but, actually, if you kind of study it and you look into it and you figure it out, I think you will probably be more successful than ever. So the only reason you're feeling maybe torn with the Two of Pentacles is because you have to follow your heart. You have the Knight of Wands. This is about going on the adventure to follow your heart. He moves towards his desire. So whatever he desires to do, he just does it, and he figures it out. He is the true builder in the tarot, I believe. And so if he doesn't know how to do something, he builds it. Or, if there's some sort of obstacle, he will build the bridge to overcome the obstacle. And he's also willing to look into the mystery. We have these three pyramids back here, and they represent the mystery of a situation. So there's clearly something that you're dreaming of having in your life: love, business, money, health. It could be your health, it could be anything, and it's a mystery. But the Knight of Wands says, well, if you explore that mystery, you will find a way to overcome it. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work, so, anything you can do to work on a team would be a good idea. It's also an amazing love card. It kind of represents two people, or, whatever, three people, whatever you're into, right? Maybe you want to have some sort of Three's Company type situation going on here. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. And, the Three of Pentacles is about working towards a common goal, so you could be attracting a person where, the two of you work towards a common goal. With the Two of Pentacles, you show up. Again, you have the Strength card. So again, whenever you show up as yourself, especially twice, especially as the Major Arcana version of yourself, you also show up on the world right here. This is you kind of like putting yourself out into the world. And, maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe it's time for Leo to shine their light a little bit more, or to speak up a little bit more, to say the things that they think that they should say more, right? And that's what this is saying. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about like learning how to win. He's been through a battle, and it really represents winning at all cost. But this could be you. Maybe the Three of Swords situation is you walking away from something that where you couldn't win, but you're still walking away with your head held high. And I feel that a lot of you, that's what you could be revisiting at this time, is a past situation. But maybe also you're saying to yourself, you know what? At least I can walk away with my head held high because I learned something from this situation. Next, sorry, I'm just throwing cards. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Star. It says, a long journey brings rewards. You also have this Wolf. It says, beware of who you trust. A lot of people have been getting cards very similar to this right now. So, again, I would be careful of who you trust. I would say for the rest of the year, and even into the beginning of next year, we have Mars going retrograde in Leo in your sign. And I always say, like, that Mars retrograde energy, just, it doesn't matter what sign Mars goes retrograde in. I think that it's always good to just, like, really pay attention to the evidence, especially with everything that you're doing. Like, if you're having a person do work on your house, or do work on your car, or do something expensive, it's like, look at the evidence. What does the evidence say to you? Does it say that they do a good job, or does the evidence say that they do a bad job? And I always think of like hire slow, fire fast type of energy whenever we have Mars retrograde. So if someone clearly isn't cutting it, it would be better to end the situation right away than it would be to like kind of give it time, right? And so I would pay attention to that. But there clearly could be rewards, and I feel it's like you manifesting your dream on Earth. You have the Lovers. I think it's time for love for Leo. So, again, this doesn't even have to be love. I think it's just time for love for Leo. So, can you bring more love into your life? Can you do more of the things that make you feel the energy of love? I feel like, really that's what this is talking about. Because, again, I think things have been too serious for too long for Leo. And whenever that happens, it's like you always move away from doing the things that you loved. So if like there are hobbies or things that you enjoy doing, I would make sure that you're doing the things you love. Whenever we're in that energy, we always attract more, and we attract more good stuff. I always say, like, I'm living proof. I was stuck for 4.5 years staring at a wall in my room, and I did absolutely nothing except for stare at a wall. And so I can tell you, my life didn't change. First thing I did was I started walking every single day. Second thing I did is I started doing things that I enjoyed doing. I stopped punishing myself, right? And so when you do that, then that's where I got all the good ideas that started this channel and other things as well. So, again, I think that it could be love, but it could also just be you inviting more love into your life. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. I do feel there's like a big change coming for you where, when we live in love, we usually are more inspired, or we are taking more inspired action. Again, inspired action doesn't necessarily make logical sense, but I kind of feel like you need to move past the logical. And I'm not saying you should be illogical, but if you have an inspiration to start that worm farm in your backyard, try it. See what happens. I'm a big fan of low investment activities. Like, if you can just try it on a small scale, and if it works on a small scale, it will probably work on a big scale. So I say start small, and especially with the Six of Pentacles, like, take that first step on a crazy idea that you have. Like, what's the smallest version, the smallest thing that you can possibly do to make it work, and then try it and see what happens and go from there, right? And so that's what I would do with the Ace of Wands. And it could also be, the Ace of Wands can be like a very passionate connection. So those of you that want love, there could be a lot of passion. You have the World. It's kind of funny because I feel busyness here, and I feel like you're about to be very busy, even if you don't feel like it. So, there could be a lot of movement coming in for you, or there could be a lot of busyness that's coming in for you in general. So, that's really all I get on the World. With the Lovers, you have the Ten of Swords, definitely needing to heal from the past, right? Ten of Swords is having been stabbed in the back multiple times. I feel like a past thing could be preventing you from moving forward with something new. Ten of Swords is actually a blessing. He's making this symbol right here with his hand that is the same symbol the Hierophant is making on his card, and it kind of represents a blessing in disguise. And the card itself could say that there's a blessing in disguise coming in for you, or it could say that a new connection, you're going to see how a past connection not working out was a blessing. So, there you go. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Crazy. Every single sign this week has had multiple aces. This happened at the beginning of the year, and now it's happening again at basically the end of the year. So a lot of us, I'm wondering if people are kind of revisiting ideas from the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year here, they're actually like putting those ideas into practice. Even, again, not to, I try to keep myself out of the readings because I don't want to influence the reading, obviously, but what I would say is it is interesting. I was thinking about this the other day because it's like I have recently started a bunch of things that I was working on at the beginning of the year that I kind of stopped working on. So I don't know. I kind of see this in my own life. Not trying to put myself in your reading here, but I think a lot of people could be doing that. With the World card, you have the Death card. Big changes, for sure. I think I said this a second ago. I really get this feeling of like a big change happening for you, especially with your energy. So even though we have a Mars retrograde in your sign at the end of the year, which normally would kind of like steal your energy, it doesn't really steal your energy. It just makes you maybe less energetic. I feel that you could be getting into a time where you are going to be very busy, or you are, going to be making a lot of moves. And obviously that would be a good thing. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this blood moon. It says courage on it. You have this moon rising. It says truth on it. So maybe you need to have the courage to tell the truth. I think, again, Leo's challenge is that your truth maybe isn't logical, or your truth could affect other people as well. So it's like, if you're working on a business with a person, but it's like just not working and you want to leave, obviously it's going to affect the other person. But I think you need to kind of think about yourself more. And, I'm kind of giving you permission to be a little bit more selfish. Same thing in love as well. It's like maybe you want to leave a situation that isn't working. And, this could be you telling the truth, basically. Maybe you want to get into a situation. Again, it could be you telling the truth. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Pentacles is all about resourcefulness. And coming up in the good stuff, this would say that you are going to be experiencing an increase of your resources. I kind of feel like this is something that's going to be happening about like over the next 6 months or so. So I don't know, come back to me in 6 months and let me know how things have turned out. But, again, if you're trying any new ideas, if you're trying anything crazy, this isn't going to magically happen. So again, if you're doing the same thing that you've been doing for 20 years, nothing is going to change. Everything in this reading says you have to do something you've never done before. I did a live with the Leo King. Like in 2020 or 2021, I don't remember, but we did an interview together, and I said that everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. That should be the Leo mantra. It's like you have to try something new, different, completely different, and that's where the resources are going to come from. So if over the next 6 months you just keep doing the same stuff, nothing is going to change. Do something different. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords in the good stuff would be doing something different. He is stealing those swords from the army in the background on the card, and he is going to war, but in a different way. And the Seven of Swords, a card of tactics, it says, is there a different way that you could approach business, work, your health, your love life? Is there something different that you could do that would be more successful? And I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. You have to do your research and find a better way. But if you do that, you will find success. You have the Queen of Cups. Again, Queen of Cups is all about following your heart. Again, like I said, I think Leo is entering into this time where they are, following their heart or doing what their heart wants. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords, I thought you had the Queen of Swords for some reason. I'm making that up apparently, but the King of Swords is about discernment and being able to see what is right and what is wrong in your life. And so I'm just getting discernment on this card, and I would trust your vision, but this could be like your intuitive vision. This could be your gut instincts, right? I think Leo has great gut instincts. They just don't always trust it. So I would trust your gut on things. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing. Knight of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. So, there could be something really good rushing into your life. And, there you go. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Again, follow your heart. Two of Pentacles, logical, and something that is more heart-based. So I think it's quite simple here, Leo. The reading is simple. It is saying that there is something that, that is your heart. And I feel like you need to move towards it, whatever it is. So let's see. You have this casket card. It says something going out of your life or the end of a situation. It's kind of funny because I have like a legal situation popping into my head as well. And the King of Swords is law and order. So if you're dealing with a legal situation, this could be you clearing up, some sort of legal thing. You have this crib card. It says birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. Yes, if you're starting something new. like that worm farm in your backyard, I think things will go very, very well for you. You have this tent. It says temporary situation, Three of Swords. Three of Swords is meant to represent a temporary situation. It is raining on the card. Obviously, it doesn't rain forever. So, for a lot of you, if you're dealing with something, it's temporary. You have this man and the woman card. So you have this dealings or relationships with a man, and you have this bag. It says something important, such as a new job or a new raise. You could be attracting a person who is like finding success at this time, or you could be attracting a person who is well off. And that is jumping into my head. Like, I literally feel this could be a person, and it doesn't have to be a man. Could be whatever you're into, but definitely could be a person who's well off. You have this woman card. It says dealings or relationships with a woman. And you have this fox card. It says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So I think that the Seven of Swords is the card of like the fox. If there was a Seven of Swords in this deck, it would be this card, Seven of Swords. The fox. I mean, the fox would be the Seven of Swords. So I think that kind of shrewdness and resourcefulness with the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords is what this reading is talking about, especially for you in regards to money matters. But I really like where this is going, Leo. So like I said, follow your heart, but it looks good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.